I want to come on here this morning. By the way, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. It's Pastor Dow. I want to come on this morning. I want to speak, I would say, the younger generation. And I want to talk about a store of wealth, okay? Store of wealth. It's obvious that probably the productive time of your years, as far as production, you being able to make choices, goals, decisions, going forth in life, and it's probably from like the ages of 25 to 65. And usually the way that this world is built upon on you pretty much living paycheck to paycheck, just getting by from month to month to month to month, and then you fall into this rut that's the way that it always is. A lot of people know I speak a lot about silver. I speak a lot about gold, and the one reason why I speak about them is not because I'm looking forward to this being the greatest investment of the century, which I still think that it is personally, but that's not the purpose and reason I'm doing it, is because most people, you can't put Federal Reserve notes in your own personal safe. You can't store Federal Reserve notes in a bank because it's too easy to have access to actually go get the money and cash it in and then go ahead and spend it, because in the back of your conscience, you already know that money is there. But however, when you invest in real money, tangible assets, i.e. gold, silver, platinum, palladium, copper, nickel, you go so forth and so on, metals, while you can still obtain cash for it, you have a lot of steps in front of you have to do in order to be able to obtain that cash. That's why it's a good store of wealth, because the temptation of actually just reaching into the safe and grabbing $100 here and $100 there and $100 here is actually taken away from you. And you usually just leave it there and leave it sitting. Because the truth is, purchasing power, it's common sense that we know if you save $10,000 10 years ago, that the truth is you've not gained anything. Not with the extraordinary amount of debt that this country is producing, simply because nobody has the stomach to balance the budget. And you can forget about us ever coming out of this $20 trillion national debt. You can forget it. You could have saved $10,000, and the truth is the amount of goods, services that you can probably get from that particular fiat currency is maybe $7,000. So in essence, you've lost in value. And so it's better to have something concrete. It's better to have something in place, because the stock market is volatile. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, treasuries, T-bills, all of them, they're all volatile, including the metals market, the silvers and golds. Silver and gold. I wouldn't suggest buying bonds, silver bonds or gold certificates bonds. I wouldn't do that. I would stick with the real deal, because at least we know, according to history, it's never been to zero. Never been to zero. So it's actually an intelligent choice, and it takes away the temptation of running and actually trying to spend it, because you know how it is. If we know that we have money saved, we're going to go get that money and spend it on something foolish and something that has little to no value whatsoever at all. So, we as a people are going to have to become intelligent, and you can't continue to keep doing the same things you've always done and expect all this change, because change just simply, it's going to come, but not the change that you expect. You're going to go from bad to worse. And so, especially in the environment we're living in now, we've got to change our minds. And we're going to have to change the way we live. And that's the reason why you keep hearing me talk about community, mutual assistance groups, over and over and over again, building relationships. And because, I've been living this thing and doing this thing for a long time. And when you build relationships, we're talking about building solid relationships with stable-minded people who have a track record to where you can look into their lives and you can see that they are believing exactly what you're saying, and their footprint is showing that they are doing exactly what you're doing. And I'm talking about, for instance, one of the greatest treasures in wealth is land. I mean, how many people out there by the time they get 40 years old have their own land? Mostly they're caught up in the world and in the sickness of this world. And I tell you, by the time people get 65 years old, most of them people are going to be able to look back on life and simply are going to be broken depending on Social Security to take care of them. But I'm going to tell you right now, Social Security is not going to be around by the time we're able to collect it. It's just not going to be around. There's just all there's to it. So we have to make better choices and decisions. And I believe communities, especially communities that you can have an eldership there, it can function like a village or a tribe, and you can have a collective group of people in one mind, and they all are contributing to that particular tribe. They're all contributing in some way, shape, fashion, or form to that tribe, be it their own labor or be it the monetary funds, but they all have to have one mind. And it should be set up in some form of trust so that the succeeding or the successors, the one that's coming, or the beneficiary that's coming behind you and stuff, something should be concretely set in place so that everybody in that tribe is protected from the human element of the fallen nature of man. And when you can get a little small group of people collectively working together, you don't believe how peaceful life can be. You don't believe how much more healthy you would be. You don't believe how much serenity that you would have. And all this, there has to be a trade-off, though. You can't love the world. You can't continue to keep doing the things of the world. You can't. You got to have one heart, one mind, one soul, one spirit. And then when you have children, you have to learn how to invest in those children through the education that you give them. You have to teach them how to function in this world. Have you ever noticed for centuries how that the Amish have been able to still get along and flourish? Because, think about it. They have no car note. They have no house note. They have no insurance. They have no, all these different insurances. They have no light bill, no phone bill. Whatever little businesses that they have, everybody knows about them. And then mostly people, they come to see what they offering, the services, and all that money. Now, do they have a little overhead? Sure they do. But all that money that they make, it goes right back into the family. And most of them get businesses that you and I can't get. For instance, they can open up a little country store and have available all these different companies all over the place, and they can bring trucks in and ship it to them, and then they sell it to you for a profit. And that's how they've actually been able to flourish in business. And so a lot of times when you go to these little Amish midnight stores, they may have some things that you cannot find in the grocery store, but they're not offering you too many things that's different or diverse than what you can get already in town. You may even pay a greater price. But there are some items, for instance, like bulk flour, bulk GMO-free flour. You can go there and buy it. And why would you want that? You'd want that because in America, they don't have the same regulations and restrictions on their food as other people do in other countries. As a matter of fact, other countries just simply will not allow GMO products from America to come over there. Other countries will not even allow the farmers even to grow genetically modified corn or other produce. They just simply won't do it because it's bad for them. It's really bad. Here we are, the land of the free, the home of the brave, and we have the most disease, the most sickness, the most cancer, the most incarcerated, jailed people, in debt, in hock, to every entity that there is in the whole entire world. So with that, are you sure you want that kind of freedom? Are you sure you want that kind of liberty? Because with that kind of freedom and liberty, I mean, to me, it seems like that there are people that are in slavery and they love their chains. So we have to be wise. We have to change our environment. We can't live life by the way that this particular country and this particular cultural society dictates and mandates to us and tell us how we live, because it doesn't benefit us. It doesn't benefit us at all. And I think that the way that I've been doing, and we're watching communities flourish and prosper all across this land because people are following my lead. And they're doing it because I've got 20 years experience in this. And it's happening. People are coming together, and it's just a beautiful thing. We have a togetherness and a oneness closer than natural family ever could have. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I would think as we're getting ready to come to a close and the end of the term of the Roman year, as we're getting ready to go into the new Roman year, is that you would probably consider what I'm saying and actually change, develop goals, get goals. Try your best to, especially if you don't live on a community, try your best to every single dollar that you make, put 10% of that back and never touch it. And if you really want to remove the temptation of it, every time you get up to like $100 in Federal Reserve notes, go buy something tangible, like real money, silver and gold. Store it in that, then you'll take away the human element of it always knowing it's in your conscious that it's there. Because later on when you want to go cash it in, it's going to be there. It's going to be there. Just thought I'd give you some food for thought on this weekend. Hope y'all have a wonderful day.